everyone, this is Mitch Maley and welcome to another edition of Punk Rock Politics. A meme that went viral on social media recently claims that the CDC finally admitted that only 6% of documented COVID-19 deaths were actually caused by the virus, with the other 94% having died of something else, while just happening to have COVID. If this were true, that would mean that the disease has only caused around 11,000 deaths in the United States, which would understandably lead a lot of people to question the responses taken by local, state, and federal officials. However, it's not true, not even close. There has been a very obvious effort to create and reinforce a narrative in which COVID case and death numbers have been wildly inflated for reasons ranging from provider profiteering to a political effort to hurt President Trump's re-election chances. And let's face it, who among us, after months of having our lives upended and the economy brought to the brink, wouldn't want this otherwise frightening pandemic to have turned out to be some kind of a hoax? But that appetite for normalcy has also seemed to create a market for conspiracy theories that have helped propagate misinformation to a dangerous degree. First, let's be clear on how death certificates work. You can find a standard U.S. death certificate on the CDC's website. Under cause of death, there is an immediate cause described as the final disease or condition resulting in death on top. Below, there is space for up to 4 underlying causes leading to the cause of line A. Then there's a box beneath that asks for significant conditions contributing to death but not resulting in the underlying cause given in part 1. About 95% of the COVID deaths had the coronavirus as the original cause of illness. However, like nearly every other disease, there are both resulting health complications it causes and comorbidity factors that could have contributed to the person's ultimate death. For example, someone might die of organ failure, but only because of an underlying disease that caused it. Organ failure is the immediate cause of death, but it may have occurred because the person had, say, stage 4 cancer. It obviously would be disingenuous to say that the person didn't really die from their cancer, the same way as someone whose immediate cause of death was respiratory failure brought on by their COVID-19. And just like obesity could be listed as a significant contributing condition to a diabetic that died of renal failure, the same way it would be listed for someone who died from COVID, it doesn't change what killed them. As for the notion that the disease only kills old and very sick people, consider this. Just under half of American adults are considered hypertensive, while 1/3 are considered obese. Another 10% have diabetes. Add in the millions more who have conditions like COPD, asthma, cancer, serious heart conditions, or otherwise compromised immune systems, and it shouldn't be a surprise that only 6% of the death certificates listed only COVID-19 as the immediate cause with no contributing or underlying conditions. The COVID-19 crisis is real, period. No, it doesn't kill nearly as many people that contracted as something like Ebola, but that's also why it's been so incredibly difficult to contain. Its long incubation period, ability to transfer through asymptomatic carriers, and the fact that the vast majority of people who get it do not die and are therefore more likely to spread the disease to others have been the keys to its success in terms of going global and having persisted for months on end. And when you add all of those deaths up, it comes to a staggering number. In fact, the United States has now lost more people to the disease in just its first 6 months than in the Korean War, Vietnam, both wars in Iraq, the war in Afghanistan, and 9/11 combined. And look, we're all frustrated by the changing information and guidelines that have been a product of the scientific community dealing with a brand new disease that they have had to learn about on the fly. But buying into some conspiracy theory just because it's less anxiety-inducing than reality doesn't help anyone. That's it for this edition of Punk Rock Politics. I'm Mitch Maley, and remember, you can get more at punkrockpolitics.com. Thanks, guys.